problem. Hi everyone, welcome all the panelists. Can I just request you to start your video?
Sure. Jatin, you're in.
Yeah. So Nilay, there are two Nilays here.
Yeah, there are two Neeraj.
Yeah. So actually, there is some problem in laptops. I've joined from mobile for the audio,
Okay.
and for video, I've kept the laptop on.
Okay.
Hi, this is Ram.
Hi Ram, how are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing great. We haven't met independently, but I've heard a lot of good things about you from Swaroop and other friends.
Same here, sir.
So Pawan and Bhanu both are the co-founders. They both have joined. Hi Pawan. Hi Bhanu.
Yes, they are just joining the audio. Pawan and Bhanu, can you hear us? Okay, Pawan, Bhanu, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. Hi.
Hi Pawan. Hi Bhanu.
Hi.
How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Good. All good.
Hi, Pawan Bhanu. This is Ram.
Yeah, hi, Ram. Hi.
Hi, Pawan. Hi, Banu. This is Nilay.
Yeah, hi, Nilay.
Yes, Jigar, we will start at 5, right?
Sure. So Jatin, can you just explain the format?
Yep. So first of all, thank you so much. So broader topic is managing finances during this COVID-19 pandemic. So probably in the audience, I believe we will have a lot of early stage startup founders or some students who are on the verge of starting up. So probably 2-3 things that we could do is individually, how are we managing our businesses? How are we managing our own finances? That would be one. B would be about the sectors that you are in, what is happening, and we'll take questions from the audience and your guidance to them. What would be your opinion for the question that they are asking? So broadly around these 3 zones.
Okay.
And one of the things we do is that probably there are going to be a lot of questions. So each speaker basically announces the reward for the best question towards the end of the session. And that reward would be like 10 minutes separate Zoom call with you. So you choose which question was good, and that person gets 10 minutes of yours.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
So it keeps everybody engaged, right? Like people would say whose question was good, and so it also
you are making sure that they stay till end till the time reward is declared.
Skin in the game wala
Makes sense.
So Jigar, you need to make sure that people ask questions, else you will have to ask questions.
Sure. So at 5, you can just sell the format like 45 minutes we'll be discussing, and then last 15 minutes we'll take the question.
Or we can rotate around. Like I'll ask one question, ask people to ask question. If people are not asking question, we'll continue with our discussion.
Sure. Perfect.
Okay.
So Jigar, we are recording this thing or not recording this?
Yeah, we are recording, and I'll go live on Facebook also. I'll share the link with you also.
Okay, so you have to be diplomatically correct. So right now it is going live, or once at 5 p.m. you will do the live?
No, I'll do the live at 5 p.m.
Yeah. So other participants who have joined, and Dhruvisha, Jitu, Mamta, can they hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us.
Okay, but we cannot hear them. Yes. So Jitu, Mamta, if you have any good question, you can ask those questions. Rewards, you already have heard that what rewards will be there. So Jigar, speakers are going to give good rewards. What rewards NDBI is going to give to the speakers?
Speaker, maybe we can give a month free of co-working space.
Or NID has some good, in case once this lockdown gets over, NID has some good outlets nearby. So treat over there to the someday probably when we meet.
Sure, definitely we can do that.
So Nilay, Pawan, Bhanu, Ram, anything that you feel that we should also discuss?
I think that what was mentioned in the mail, like do's and don'ts, like at this point of time, what like each and every startup should focus on. That's a good point to be shared at this time of webinar, I guess.
Yeah. And we read your newsletter and your LinkedIn post. so that is very informative and very useful.
Yeah, it's quite popular on LinkedIn.
Yes. Nilay, Ram, anything that you feel that we should also discuss? Nilay, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Yes.
Maybe we can ask. Maybe if we let them know what kind of investors Lens is going as of now, right? I mean, just to make them understand that the kind of fundraising situation, or like like what's going in the investors' mind during this COVID situation. So
Okay.
I mean, that will be like good for a lot of startups out there.
So Nilay, you are representing CI. So you are the person with a lot of money in this group right now.
Yeah. I mean, or not.
You should offer some freebies to everybody.
Yeah.
CI also does a lot of good programs. Ram, what do you feel?
Jatin, I am listening to so many sessions and everybody is talking about what to do for startup. What different we are going to do here, what I understand from Jigar is the segment which is targeted for today's session are very, very fresh. So either they are at idea stage or pre-revenue stage.
Yeah.
So maybe if we can, if that is the audience and that is the attendees also, we can push the discussion towards what should be done for, because if they are at pre-revenue stage, what is their expense? So maybe they are not incurring that much expenses, or they may not face the problem of bankruptcy because they are already in that state. So if we can narrow it down to that extent, which would be useful for them.
Correct. And I believe, Jigar, you also pitch in. The audience would be the people who are right now live with us, and those will be watching the video. So when people will come to NDBI, you will push that content.
Yes.
So Jigar, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So they are basically the SSIP, maybe student startups, those who have raised funds from the government, the grants, and they are still struggling how to manage the finance, like whatever finance they have, and how to manage it during this lockdown.
Okay. So everyone who's just joining at 5, we will actually get started with our discussion. We are having we have waiting room, and all of you are listening. Our conversation is waiting room. The actual webinar discussion will start at 5. And on the she has mentioned that she is a faculty, so faculties are also allowed to get rewards. We'll just so Jigar, any other extra points that you would want to mention?
No, I guess we have discussed everything. So if we can just start, it is fine. Like,
should we start? You open up your video now. So on the live, if you are not opening up your camera, on the live it doesn't show your screen. It will only show for screen as of now.
okay.
Jigar, you tell us when to start, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, sure.
You also need to do this setup on getting live, right? Once you do the live, we can start with our discussions.
Yeah.
And friends who just joined, probably you can introduce yourself in the chat. So the speakers also get to know who else is here. And this Zoom webinar has a feature that probably towards the second half of the webinar, we'll have some of you join in the main screen, and you can also speak up. Jigar, once you tell us, go ahead, we'll get started.
Sure.
Because most of the webinars live stream, the audience which is not live, they go to webinar and they just start the video and they don't see anything. And it starts after. So if you look at a lot of YouTube comments, some smart guy would have written, and this actual discussion starts at the 4th minute. These guys are doing public service.
Interesting.
Thank you so much, Lina, for joining. Jigar, we start?
Yeah, we can start. Thank you.
Okay.
Over to you, Jigar.
Yes, so thank you so much everyone for joining in. This program is jointly organized by NDBI, iHub and ICHI, and CI has two representatives in a way, two speakers. So we can consider CI as also a good part of organizing team. So today's theme is managing your finances during COVID-19 pandemic. That's a broader topic, and we have four awesome guests who have joined in. So friends who are, so we are using Zoom webinar. So the audience is in the background, so you'll not be able to speak up. But towards the second half of the sessions, we will have some of you to speak up. Meanwhile, you can introduce yourself in the chat. That would help our speakers to know who's in the participant. And during the session, you can ask questions. So we'll take up those questions also. So probably we'll start with a brief round of introductions, then we'll get started with our discussions. Ram, if you can briefly introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ram. I'm working as a startup consultant for last 5 odd years. Basically, I'm a chartered accountant and an MBA.
Awesome. And Nilay?
Sure. Hi everyone, my name is Nalay. So I work with the investment team at CICO. I've done my CA and CFA, and I have an experience of around 4 years.
So we have people who already are from a finance background, so they understand finances really well. So Jigar, you put together a very good panel. Bhanu and Pawan, if you can both of you just briefly introduce yourself.
Yeah, so hi, this is Pawan. I did my BTech from BIT Mesra, and then I completed my MBA from IIM Ahmedabad in 2018. And after that, we took like all three of our founders took the IIM Maverick Scholarship and started Finception, so which is also popularly known as FinShots, is the newsletter. So we are currently running the startup.
Hi guys, I'm Banu, one of the other co-founders of FinShots. Yeah, I was a graduate from IIT Roorkee, and in 2018 I graduated from IIM Ahmedabad.
Awesome, thank you so much. So we, a couple of things we will do. You can use the chat to ask questions, or you can use Q&A to ask questions. I'll start with one or two questions, then we'll get started with the question and answer. So one of the things we are doing, so for physical meetups we used to do, but for online we are trying to reduce the time. So each speaker will select the best question that they like during the session, and the person who has asked this question will get a 10-minute Zoom call with that speaker, where they can mentor you or anything that you would want to ask them. So keep on asking good questions. So we'll start with one or two basic questions and then have all of you join in. So the theme is managing your finances during COVID-19 pandemic. So how are you managing your finances? What is the impact of COVID-19 in your cash flow? Ram?
So basically, the biggest problem is liquidity crunch. Everybody is fighting for liquidity. So issue is my creditors, my customer, everybody wants liquidity. So idea is, if without destroying my liquidity, I can help create liquidity for my customer, it is a yes, and try to extract more liquidity from your creditor. but at the same time, it's a global problem. So we have to be human. So when dealing with team, when dealing with your anybody, we have to keep that human aspect on with us.
Okay, awesome. Pawan, Banu, probably one person can pick up this. Or how are you managing your? You recently raised funds, so there was a lot of news about it. So
Yeah. So yeah, we were lucky in terms of that. We have recently raised some money, so we have decent amount of runway. And also the thing is, we raised money from Zerodha, and Zerodha is a company that you all know that builds its fortune on bootstrapping. So yeah, some of those things, some of those mantra of being frugal, we have already started as a frugal company, and we are not burning so much. So currently, we as a startup, we have a decent amount of runway. We are not worried about that. But yeah, as you see that we are currently building a financial planning product, and we have always kept that we won't be hiring much. So as of now, we are in a situation that we are facing no problems. But if you see in terms of a global point of view, yeah, definitely a lot of problem is going on.
Yeah, for us, I mean, the funda has been very simple. You survive for as long as you can, right? Be frugal and don't spend money on unnecessary things, or you kind of have to prioritize. Now that the funding or even the revenue streams are also going to get very very tighter, right? So you have to be as frugal as you can and spend on only things that you can actually afford to at this stage.
Absolutely. Nilay, personally, how it is affecting you?
Sure. So personally, I think one thing that I've started doing is to to manage cash. I think what both Ram and Pawan and Bhanu mentioned, right? That cash flow management as of now is the most important thing. So I've started analyzing all kind of cash items that I was spending every month, right? So it's like getting into detail about what kind of expenses I was making, and then trying to cut down unnecessary expenses or expenses which are not necessary as of now, right? Because we know that this is quite an unconventional time and also quite uncertain, right? So we don't know that when the lockdown will open or not. That's the thing, that you have to plan for different scenarios. Be conservative as much as possible, and be prepared for whatever kind of emergency or maybe different situations might arise.
Okay, awesome. So those of you who are watching this on Facebook, you can introduce yourself in the Facebook comments, or those who are live with us right now on Zoom, please introduce yourself so we also know who else is there, and keep on asking those questions. There are a few questions that are already started. So probably audience, probably we have some faculties and some early stage startup founders. So Ram, you consult a lot of startup founders. So what if you were to give like top 3 or 4 bullet points, these are the things startups should do, early stage startups, so that they can manage their finances better, what those things could be?
Okay, so basically what I am seeing with the startups is one should have, if like as Pawan and Bhanu mentioned, they have a runway. If you have a runway, look at long term, don't look at short term. There is no question thinking about bankruptcy. Look at long term, how you can create loyalty. Look at long term, how you can get the employees on board. So if we remember 1997 Asian crisis, what happened with Toyota? Everybody in automobile sector was actually going for layoff. Toyota kept his employee, trained them, and after 4 years, when everybody was out of crisis, their profit per employee was highest in the industry. So the idea is very very clear. Don't look at short term. Don't aim at short term if there is no bankruptcy issue with you. Look at long term. Take our own example. What Razorpay has done recently. They have started sending mails to everybody. They do settlement in T+2. So they have started sending mails to everybody that if you are an NGO or essential services, we will do immediate settlement for you. So that creates customer loyalty. So look at that, look at the human aspect and try to be as human as it is possible, and look at a long term horizon, because this is going to stay. So it's a global issue, and this is the time to create loyalty for yourself. So it is best time for startups or for any businesses to look at it and convert it into the opportunity. This is what all the startups I know are doing actually right now.
Yeah, well said. Pawan and Bhanu, what could be your top 3 points? And probably you can share the things on the scenario in case you wouldn't have raised funds. How would you would have approached this scenario? Both the things. Yeah.
So without funds, it would have been very difficult, at least for us. mainly because we are still not at a stage where we can actually start generating revenues. So first thing we would have done is to kind of limit the number of people we are going to hire or the number of people we are going to have on the team, right? And just the next thing will be to kind of go for some kind of like a pay cut for everybody, right? For example, if let's say that everybody in the team kind of agrees, okay, we can go for let's say 20 or 30% pay cuts, right? That itself will give us like another 3-4 months of runway easily, right? And in case the situation gets better, then right, and you can kind of compensate the employees you have at that point in time, or either it can be you are able to raise some funds, or you are able to kind of get some revenues as well, right? So the key focus should be on how can you survive for the long run, or at least till the situation gets better.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, Pawan, you wanted to add a point to that?
Yeah, as I was just saying, Ram was also saying the same thing. The focus should be on the long run. That's what the mantra is actually.
Yeah. Neil, CI works with a lot of startups. So how are these startups coping up with it? What are these innovative things that they are doing? Anything that you can share on that front?
Sure. So I think one thing what Ram mentioned was about runway, right? So if a startup has a runway of maybe more than 6 months, then they are in a good position, right? But a lot of startups who don't have that much runway, then they're planning to to work on other areas wherein they are identifying alternative revenue streams, right? So if certain startups might go for consultancy, right? So that's one kind of revenue streams, because anyways everybody's working from home, so that they can go for alternative revenue streams. Second is they're trying to get as much as online skills, like if their employees can get during this time, because anyways they're working from home. So if they can learn certain skills to make themselves ready after this lockdown gets over. So that's that. And the third would be that they're trying to reduce whatever unnecessary costs is there. They're working with their suppliers if they can extend the the payable days. So that's there. I mean, they're trying to manage their working capital as much as possible.
Okay. Awesome. We'll take up a few questions. So friends, you can ask questions.
Sure.
Jigar, if there are questions on Facebook, you can also let us know. Mamta Lal has asked, what will be the consumer behavior post-COVID? Whatever innovations done, what will be the strategy to go further, keeping the finance in mind and look back the return? Who would want to take up this question? Ram?
So what's the question? So consumer behavior is the question around what would be the consumer behavior post this pandemic? Jatin?
Yep, that is the primary question. Yep. So the
it
question
depends
is,
on
just yes, around consumer behavior. And Mamta, if you have any further questions around it, you can ask in the chat. Yes, Ram.
That ultimately depends on what consumer segment you are targeting, because consumer behavior is not same for every product. It changes based on their need and requirement. But for sure, consumer, what I believe, liquidity is going to be a problem, and people will not be happy expending money, as pointed out in the first part of this, that we have to be very conservative. So consumer is going to be very conservative. We have to innovate ways. We have to help them in the sense that we have to bring up those, either change your business model, change your product style, change anything and make it more relevant for them. So look at example of what internet companies in India are doing. They have come up with the work from home packs. So I am getting mails, says this is work from home pack, because they understand this is what my consumer behavior is changing. Everybody is working from home. Bring that kind of innovation in your product. Bring that kind of innovation to attract your customer, because everybody is changing now. So going forward, yes, liquidity is going to be a problem, but everything is going to change. So we have to rework on model. We have to rework on what output we are trying to give to our consumer, and they are changing. It's a very subjective thing. It will depend on the segment. It will depend on your product. It will depend on so many things.
Correct. And there are 2-3 kinds of audiences of this webinar. The people who would apply to NDBI or iHub or students. So there are people who are just about to make the products or start their businesses. So Pawan and Manu, what would be your advice to them in this context? How do they manage it? Because they haven't started making money. Probably they are getting some grant from some government, and probably that grant is also coming in tranches. and there is a fees. So what would be your advice to that kind of folks?
I mean, it would depend upon, at least in case if you're, building some products that are kind of, let's say, very essential to people, right? Let's say something like, your grocery delivery in, tier 2, tier 3 cities, or, some products about healthcare and innovation. So you people can actually have like much better chances at this. Or in case if the product is going to be more of, let's say, like a discretionary spending, right? So you need to be very, very cautious in terms of like, first you need to sort out okay, how much of a long runway you're going to get, mainly because it's going to be very difficult for you to actually get customers to pay money right off the bat, right? And same will go for the VC investing as well. So depending upon which product categories or where you are, you kind of have to take a call key. Is there actually a right time for your product to come out or not?
And one more thing I would like to add here, like
Yes.
because it's from my own stage, what I have learned, like when we are making a product, we are much more worried about raising funds, and rather than sometimes building a product becomes a secondary thing. So I would like to suggest like the focus priority should be building a product and getting some traction and understanding your consumer who are using it, your users should be the first priority, and then based on that, once it scales, once you gain confidence that your users which you are catering to are loving your product, raising funds become much more easy.
Okay. And there are yes, Ram, you wanted to
add to Pawan's point. One of the startup I know, they are at ideation stage, no revenue stream, just got the government grant before this lockdown and everything. What they are basically B2B hospitality. So what they are doing right now is very interesting. We were discussing what can be done. So they are at very pre-revenue, nothing, product only at idea stage, a small prototype done. So they have started contacting all the hospitality industry who's who. They are connected to Leela now. They are connected to Ramada. They are connected to everybody. And interestingly, everybody is free. So everybody is helping them. So they are getting a better customer perspective. They are getting, so they are based on the feedback from the customer or discussion with the customer or prospective customer, they have revised their model. They have changed their product type and everything. So that is something, even if there are students or there are startups which are at idea stage, just got government grant, don't know what to do, don't worry. Selling is the biggest bottleneck for any startup, which they are going to face, if not today, in 6 months, in 1 year. Do it today. Everybody is free and everybody is happy to help anybody, because as human beings, we all have a need to help others. So do it today, reach out to everybody, reach out to anybody, talk to everybody, they will help you. And you will understand your customer better. This is one of the startup which is doing, and they are getting interesting results out of it.
Awesome. And if you're at an idea stage, the good thing is that those who were like 5 years, 6 years into their businesses, they are also at idea stage. So you're not starting a race from behind. You are equal to everybody else. Nilay, and this question is about the startups which are like 20 employees, 30 employees on a growth trajectory. Suddenly revenues have stopped, but their overhead costs are there. So CI already has a lot of the startups. So how should they tackle this situation? Yep.
Sure. So I think one thing that they should start, like thinking that now no expenses is fixed, right? I mean, maybe in terms of rent or electricity. So suppose because you are working from home, right? So you're not using the office. So maybe you can have a discussion with your landlord or maybe whoever the owner of the office is, right? To renegotiate the terms, right? To get it reduced by a certain amount. Right. Second would be because now you're not going to a certain places, not incurring traveling expenses. Then try to divert those amount towards something which is really important. So I think that's one of the most important thing. Now there is no fixed expenses. A lot of this kind of expenses can be turned into variable as and when required. Because I think this kind of problem is known by everyone. So obviously the owner of the office will also know that you are facing this kind of problem. You are having cash crunch, right? So that they'll help you in certain ways. So I think that's that. So yeah, I mean, you can do that. Try to gauge into what kind of expenses you're making, and then make it reduce it as much as possible.
Okay, so one of the things to manage the finance in case the revenue is not coming is to reduce your cost. So you take your and then that support. In some cases, the critical question comes that should we reduce the headcount of employees? So how to take those difficult discussions? So yesterday, the founder of Carta, which they laid off almost 160 people. So he wrote a very good article around the thought process of what he thought how to manage that situation. But anything you can share on this? Like you reduce the cost, you are very lean, but at the same time you
Sure.
have to go certain set of people. How do you tackle this
Sure.
situation? Yes, Nilay. You also, Nilay.
Yeah. Okay. So I think first thing that you should do is to be as transparent as possible, right? I mean, share with your team what kind of fundraising challenges that you are facing, what kind of runway challenges that you are facing. Obviously, they also know that as a company you are facing a lot of challenges. Once you share those kind of challenges with them, right? Try to identify certain employees who will stick with you for a longer period of time, right? Because I mean they'll be because obviously it's a two-way kind of thing, right? You are also facing challenges, they are also facing challenges on individual level, right? To try to identify those employees who are there. If I mean reducing headcount should be the last option. If you think that there is some kind of salary reduction might require, given the situation is very dire, then start from the top management, right? And then try to go to different like next level of like people, and like reduce lesser amount salary cut from them. I think that's a good way to increase their morale also, because right now also like they are facing challenges on the family front. They are worried about like the health of the family. So it's a good way to like maybe rather than firing them, it's a good way to like manage cash for next 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, I saw some tech product companies where they had a product, but now the revenues have reduced. So they are trying to do some consulting projects also, because
Yeah,
team
yeah,
didn't wanted to leave, and so that was one of the way to approach.
yeah,
Ram,
yeah, like an
anything you want
alternative
to
revenue
add?
stream.
Yeah,
Just,
Ram.
just to add to Neel's point, I was reading one article how Chinese companies are fighting with COVID. What is that? So I a very interesting thing came up. There is a cosmetic company, offline store cosmetic company in China. They have 300 plus employees. Now due to lockdown, all employees were at home. So what they did, they started internal training for all 300 employees, and in 4 to 5 days of training they made them online influencer. And once this online influencer army was out in digital market, they got 40% jump on year sales for that particular month in the lockdown. So laying off is something, if you are at verge of bankruptcy, it's okay. Otherwise, believe me, there are innovative ways to find out ways for that. Convert them to something which can convert revenue for you. There are a number of ways. And also, as pointed out by Pawan earlier, that they have gone for 30% reduction. So layoff would come even after that. Get the reduction first. Get them, make them get the basic thing what they want, and then go for layoff kind of thing. So there are innovative ways even before cutting, even before laying off. So try to think in those terms.
Okay, Banu and Pawan, what is your thought process? I believe you mentioned it would, in case you wouldn't have received funding, you would have done that. But what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, if you ask personally, in my opinion, pay cut would definitely be the first priority before laying off. Like laying off is a very hard decision to make for any founder. And personally, if you see like 6-7 months for a startup, I would say 6-7 months, 8 months, whatever can push you, like this before the ship sinks. So the layoff would be the decision that every founder has to take. So you can't say you just don't want to do that. You have to be honest with your employees. If I feel like by doing layoff, maybe I can survive for like 12 months, but not doing that, it reduces directly my runway to 6 months. So personally, I would take that decision. Like I would be honest with my employees, and like it's hard to take, but yeah, that will allow my ship.
Yash Patel has asked, what will be the demand in the field of digital manufacturing, like 3D printing and scanning? Who would want to take up this? All are the finance guys. So Nilay,
Sure. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it, because I've seen a lot of companies who are working in 3D printing areas. So I think that they have a good, maybe a good future, because right now, like you can't use a lot of manufacturing facilities as such, right? and we also need to create a lot of infra or maybe a lot of equipments without going to units also in the near future, right? Because obviously not everything will open up immediately, right? So I think at that point of time, this kind of 3D printing machines will be very helpful, which won't give you that like too high quality products, but can give you a good substitute products. So I think, I mean, 3D printing, the scanning kind of for maybe health, I think we have seen that, you know, like this, a lot of companies are making using 3D printer to maybe print components for ventilator, which will be, you know, like used for COVID patients. They're using it to maybe print some other kind of health equipments. So that's there. I mean, because, you know, like we don't see that much that everything will open up soon. So this kind of machines could be useful as a substitute for that.
Okay, we'll do one thing. So probably all the participants, if you want to ask questions, we can have you speak up. So you can ask, you can mention in the chat, and Jigar, probably, you know, you can allow them to speak. There is a feature in this, so probably we can hear newer voices in this webinar. I'll continue asking questions to them. So Pawan and Manu, you also you are based where right now, in Ahmedabad, Bangalore?
Bangalore.
So how is the situation in Bangalore? Like you must be talking to a lot of other founders, because a lot of people who are watching this are primarily in Gujarat, I believe, because the rest of the guests are in Ahmedabad. If you can give an inside view about the Bangalore startup ecosystem, how are they doing it?
I think many people are actually preparing for something like, like a worst case scenario, right? Like what is the worst that can kind of happen to your revenue streams, right? Because all your suppliers or anybody are at this stage are kind of going to kind of, delay their payments as well because of the working capital crunches. So everybody kind of, preparing themselves. Okay, what is the worst case scenario that we have to kind of face, and how are you kind of, going ahead with that?
So yeah, I was also talking yesterday to one of the founder of a leading content startup. So he was also very pessimistic about like raising funds. He was like, the complete focus for next 1 year is like for monetization. Somehow I should monetize my product, and through that I should get some money, because I don't see any runway for like raising funds. Because mainly because VCs raise money also for 3 to 5 years, like, and most of it's like risky capital. With expectation of extraordinary returns, which right now I think VCs are also facing a lot of problems. So yeah, that's the pessimistic kind of aura that is spread across Bangalore right now.
Awesome. So friends, if you're running a startup and trying to figure out which are the other ways you can monetize, you can probably ask it, mention about your startup in the chat, and probably our speakers will take up that to give you ideas on what more you can do. So another thing is that if revenues are not coming, another could be probably potential government support, or some, so like a lot of VCs have started this ACT grants. So if you're building an innovative solution, there is a potentially grant you can get. So which are the different government, private sector, or different ways that as a startup founder, they can potentially get some financial support? Ram?
I would say it is good. We all have heard about CGT MSc, but we know how it was on paper and how it actually turned out actually when it comes to giving money. So at this time, think in terms of, I have 100 rupees in my wallet, and I have two friends, one who is starving and other friend who is going to bring innovation. Where would I spend my 100 rupees? So for government grants or for anybody, the question remains, where should money go? And so I would personally say, relying on government grants today, you can rely on it, but don't think that it will, the turn-up time or the turnaround time would be what it was before the lockdown or before the pandemic. It is going to get deferred by a good amount of time. So instead of focusing on are we going to get that inflow in our cash flow, start focusing on reinventing your business model. That is much easier for you to do. So I will just share what we did with one of the startup. So we list down all the sources which we expect are going to come to us, and all the expenses. And then we started writing against each item. Is it in my control or is it beyond my control? So if you list down all things, what will you write against government grant? It is beyond your control, correct? Even when it is there in the process, it is beyond your control to get the money. So stop worrying about that and visit this list maybe every 15 days and see what is in your control. The things which are in your control, think about it. What can I do for these things? Be it revenue, be it cost. then only you will be able to extend your runway, or because relying on any inflow in terms of grant, it's a question mark as of today.
Jigar, you are there, right? Jigar?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so what you can do next time when people are asking question, you can allow them to speak. So probably I'll ask one more question, and then probably we'll have people. Prerak, if you can speak up, you can just mention that Jigar will allow you to speak up. So we'll see we'll hear newer voices. Pawan and Manu, like what are your thoughts on which are the government support systems, private sector support systems, and every accelerator is coming up with their newer set of things where startups can explore, where potentially they can get some financial support. Yeah, you'll have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
So a year back, I think we relied primarily on the startup grant from the Gujarat government, right? So we got some grants from the Gujarat University, right? And as well as CIE as well, right? I mean, the amounts are like they will be smaller, but that was we got those money at a very crucial stage, right? That itself gave us like another runway for 3 to 4 months as well. So those are some of the grants that you can look at. And other thing that you can actually look at is in case, let's say, if your product is a free product, right, at this stage. So I think back in during the 2008 crisis, if you have ever used this product called Evernote, where you can actually take your notes, right? So that startup was almost at the brink of bankruptcy, and the founder wrote to his customers that they're kind of going to shut it down. And one day he received an email from one of his customers, right, that I've been using your product for the last 2 months, and it's kind of sad that you have to let it go. If I can, if you're still looking for investors, I can invest money in your company. And that person ended up investing $500,000 in Evernote, right? It may be possible that from one of your customers you'll be able to raise some kind of money, right? It may not be substantial, but yeah, anything you can get your hands upon at this stage is going to be quite helpful in this situation.
Yeah, well said, Nilay. And what CI has to offer.
Sure. I mean, so see, anyways, like we are always ready for innovation, right? So if you are early stage startup doing really innovative stuff, then we are always ready to support. Saying that, like we are also focusing on managing our existing portfolio company. About maybe other different sources that you discussed about. So there are a lot of this different incubators, different government schemes that are coming up, right? But one thing that you have to notice that right now, most of this maybe investors or incubators or schemes focus would be to invest in healthcare startups, right? To identify as much solutions as possible. But saying that, even if you're not in healthcare sector, then there are a lot of different sources. Maybe through some NBFC startup or certain banks who have special schemes for small and medium businesses, then you can utilize one of them. So that's there.
And if you're at a growth stage, probably you will know that from where to find those resources. But if you're at early stage, so you can identify a lot of these online hackathons going on. Probably in the same region, you can use the same products at 5 different hackathons. And if you are good at presenting, probably you never know, right? You might get some selected and get some, because a lot of popular hackathons have a lot of applications. But not a lot of not popular universities, they have a good prize money, they don't get a lot of applications. So if you can identify that, and so that could become one small potential for you.
Sure.
Jigar, can you allow Prerak to speak? Else, Prerak, if you can speak up, also I'll just get started. I'll read out your question. Jigar?
So I allow to speak.
Okay. Prerak, this is an experiment we are doing. Don't disappoint us. Speak up.
No problem. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is like I have been following Ray Dalio, the hedge fund manager of the Bridgewater Associates from long, and the U.S. economy will have a larger impact on the world economy, I guess. So what kind of thoughts you guys have on hyperinflation after government start printing as the last resource to save the economies?
Yeah. So we were trying to save ourselves, our own small startups. Now we need to save economy. So what are your thoughts, guys? Yes, who will take up this? Ram, Pawan, Banu, or Nilay?
Actually, our internet kind of went off, so we didn't hear the question. Can you just is it on the Q&A part already?
It is on the Q&A, but Prerak, you just speak up, and you can also read in the Q&A. Prerak, can you just repeat that?
Yeah, sure. Am I audible properly?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, the American economy will have larger impact on the global economy. Whatever they do will have ripple effects, and I have been following their newses for quite a long time, and I've been following the Ray Dalio, the hedge fund manager and associate, running the company called Bridgewater Associates. Uh, he is concerning, like he's sending concerns about hyperinflation in near future. So if you guys have any point on that, I would like to know.
Okay. Good. Yes. Who will take up this?
I think we can.
Sure.
Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I think the governments, I mean, before they can, no government will actually kind of go ahead and start printing as much money as they want, because the central banks of every country, right, they will kind of try to keep the inflation in check, right? So you will see some kind of inflation going up, but at least at this stage, we don't think we're going to face, situations of hyperinflation.
Okay. Ram, you want to make a
Then
point?
I am not the correct person to speak on that.
Yes, I am
I'm
also.
sorry.
I'm trying to
sorry.
figure out my own business. Nilay, you are a CIE guy, so you should answer.
So yeah, so I think I'll agree with what Pawan said, right? So I think currently, I mean, obviously there might be some kind of inflation out there, but it's very uncertain times, right? And obviously it's not like that we are living in some isolation world. Obviously the effect of whatever US might face will have its ripple effects on India, like whatever US or China or Europe might face will have its ripple effects on India, right? But it's not a, I mean, for me it's very uncertain to say anything about it. We might face some kind of recession, but let's see. I mean, government is taking whatever steps that they want to. I mean, we have seen certain announcement from them today also. So let's see what happens. I mean, we have to still wait for certain time before we can say anything.
Okay, awesome. So friends, if you have any question, you can ask in the chat. So we do this typically when we do this offline sessions with NDBI and we ask panelists to ask one question to at least one panelist. So we get to know what knowledgeable people want to know from another knowledgeable person. So Nilay, what is your question to at least Pawan, Bhanu, or Ram?
Okay, I'll have a question to maybe Pawan and Bhanu, right? So I mean, just want to know from you guys, right? That how do you see maybe fintech as a sector? Like maybe like what's the future of fintech? Maybe given this kind of like COVID kind of situation.
Pawan, you can open up your video because in the live stream video it will not show your screen.
Can you repeat that?
Yes. Sure. Just want to know from you, right? So just want to know from you, right? I mean, what kind of future you see maybe in a fintech sector? So maybe more from like what kind of habits or like maybe the people will start following post-COVID situation in terms of managing the finance.
I mean, the situation, yeah, once the situation gets better, I think fintech will have like a very, a good phase coming up, mainly because we see a lot of people changing their behavior, like especially in terms of two products broadly, right? One is your insurance. All those people who have neglected insurance, nothing is going to happen to me or things like that. They are kind of getting more cautious and they kind of want to protect their downside, right? So we'll see a good number of people coming into health insurances and life insurances. And similarly in terms of the savings aspect as well, right? Because in case if you're a millennial working with these new age tech companies, there's a lot of uncertainty around for how long your jobs are going to be there. Right? These are not like your traditional jobs that essentially your job is not guaranteed anymore, right? So you'll see a lot of people switching more towards having some emergency funds or essentially.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Ram, what is your question to at least one of them?
So Jatin, I have a question to you. Tell me, Jatin, we all are talking about uncertain time. We all are talking about we don't know what will happen in future. That is all fine. What I am seeing, this is the most amazing time because as a startup, we all are habituated to be in uncertainty. So being global, what I am listening from everybody that this is a global thing. So I am okay. We are trying to cope with us. What is the most amazing thing which you have noticed in the startup ecosystem after this pandemic?
So probably what this is my observation. So that trend was anyways going on. Then in 2015-16, a lot of people raised funds, people were proposing on numbers, and then suddenly the trend about you should be revenue positive. Suddenly, revenue positive feeling has become 100x now because people don't have any other option. So that is one thing, and probably no earlier probably you could get away with the distribution. Now only you have money you can get, but now your products will become stronger because you will build something which is extremely something that we are looking at. So a lot of these incubation centers or organizations which are focused on supporting startups, they were never doubling down on the video conferencing. But this is amazing, right? Like we can have a great discussion. This could have been possible 6 months back also, but nobody doubled down on that. So, and one thing on one side, there are a lot of webinars happening, so there is a lot of abundance of that. But if you can identify a lot of good people, they are sharing some greater insights. So which probably wasn't possible because now the same set of people who used to talk to that 15 people, now they are open and talking about. So suddenly it has increased. But so if you are some good eklavya kind of a person, you can identify some greater resources from everybody. So that is one good sign because now the people are like trying to figure out their survival. So again, it brings the worst out of the people and the best out of the people. So there are some good signs where some of these instincts are coming out. You have to build a good, better product. You have to do the right thing that people are looking at. So that there are 2-3 broader points that I believe are going good.
Good. Yes.
So I think I would like to add a point here, right? Because I've read it somewhere I mean, innovation, like we say, that is the mother of necessity, right? And whenever this kind of situations arise, this emergency or pandemic kind of situation arise, we see a lot of fast track in terms of people adopting to new kind of solutions, right? I mean, we can say that Zoom was maybe used by maybe 10% or 20% of the public, right? But I mean, after this, I mean, everybody is on Zoom. Yeah, and it's being used for 10 different purposes altogether, not just for office, but even like family are being getting on Zoom to have a word with each other and to discuss, right? So I mean that's there. I mean, innovation becomes very fast track in terms of in times of pandemic or emergency situations.
Yeah. Pawan, what is your question to at least one of them? Yes, Pawan.
Yeah, hi Jatin.
So what is your question to at least Ram or Nilay or to Jigar? So Pawan, we do this thing where panelists ask question to fellow panelists. So everybody has finished their turns. Now it is your turn to ask a question. Can you hear us? Else I'll just move on to the next part then. Pawan, yes. Okay, I believe there is some problem. We'll just reconnect with him. Jigar, you are there?
Yes, yes.
So this program is organized by NDBI and iHub, which supports startups. So how are you supporting startups who are trying to figure out finances? You organize this wonderful webinar, so that is great. But what are the initiatives taken by iHub or NDBI to help startups in this practice?
So what we are doing is that we were about to do a screening for the for the investment that we do. We have our own fund. So what we are doing is that we are taking it online. So usually we do it offline at the offices, but now when we don't have this, so we don't want to stop the work going on. So we'll be doing the screening online, and once the office starts, then we can disburse the funds. So, and we are doing this weekly check, monthly check with all the startups that how you can pivot. So I'll give you an example. There is a startup who is to make t-shirts from textile waste. So now that was very interesting that she has the material and she said that I am going to make mask from it so that I can give it to government and I can make the things moving from my end. So that is something that we are doing from our end.
Okay, so this will be for a primarily design-led businesses, right?
Not really.
Okay. So it is, so anybody who's working on startups, probably this is the right time to approach incubators. You will get a lot of good support because proactively everybody is looking for, so every organization, if you see, they are struggling to identify good case studies where they can tell everybody, this is the startup I funded. So they are looking for those heroes that they can promote. So try to be that hero, and then you need not do anything. They will take you to the next level. Because if you see every individually to get a good VC, it will be very difficult. But if you look at all these top VCs, they are speaking at all these webinars organized by various incubation or accelerator programs. So this would be a good time to do something around that. So we are towards the last 5-10 minutes of this discussion. So Nilay, what would be your, like, I asked the bullet points, but just like startups, finances, top 3 advices from you.
Sure. So top 3 points would be, first is to keep your financial up to date, right? I mean, write down everything. If it's not there, like write down every expenses that you're making, and then try to analyze it and reduce it as much as possible. Second would be as much as transparent as possible. Also be human, like Ram sir always mentioned, that be human as much as possible. I mean, it's not just time to think only in terms of money. It's also time to think, because like everybody is also going through a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear due to uncertain times. So also try to manage that. And third would be do a lot of scenario analysis, wherein you are making sure that like given different kind of situations, right? So I think what Pawan or Bhanu mentioned earlier, that like prepare for the worst in some way. Like try to make sure that like maybe a more since uncertain time might continue for a longer period. So be prepared for that. Yeah, I mean that's there. I mean that's 3 of the major points that I would like to tell everyone.
Awesome. Pawan, if you can speak up, what are the top 3 advices that you would want to give other startups on how to manage?
So yeah, the first would be the 100% conserving cash as much as possible. Like you have to tone down your revenue projections and prepare for the worst case scenario, and focusing on monetization. Second would be the first thing, like how much you can get money from, like by you're making your users pay. Second would be like that. And third would be cutting down all your extravagant costs. Like sometimes we spend too much in marketing and all. So like third would be like that. And also hiring also, we like initially what we used to do is we were like not worried about much, and we were hiring at high CTC as well. But right now we are keeping a very tight payout for everyone, and yeah, negotiating as much as possible.
Yeah, awesome. And Pawan, there was this part where you are supposed to ask question to at least Ram or Nilay. So what would be that question that you would want to ask them?
I would ask Ram the question, like how like what kind of problems that he used to face when he's consulting those other startups. Like that would be the major question from Ram.
So what I have seen with startup is everybody, when this everything lockdown and everything started, everybody was worried about what next, what should I do. With almost every pre-revenue stage startup, the question was, I don't know what to do next. So that was the biggest. So, and it is basically a mental block. What we found out. So again, as I mentioned earlier, the simple process which we followed for everybody is list down all your problems on a paper. Write against every problem. Is it in your capacity? It is beyond your capacity. Visit this list every 3 days. See, and if any problem is in your capacity, what you can do. So what change we saw in the startup is, before doing this, they all were worried. We don't know what to do. After doing this, they started talking, oh, we got connected to this. Now we are doing this. Also, so everything shifted from what should I do to amazing thing happening. So stop worrying, focus on what you can do. Stop worrying about what you cannot do. We cannot do anything about pandemic. We cannot do anything about government grant in my bank account. Stop worrying about that. Look at yourself, try to reinvent everything and see what you can do. Connect most of the people. Everybody is free today. Everybody in industry is free. Connect with anybody. They are going to help you. So from worrying, shift yourself from worrying to amazing thing happening, because your startup is all about that.
Yeah, true.
Awesome. And towards the last part of this, Ram, how can people can get connected with you in case if they want to know more from you? And which question you like the most?
So I like the question on economic way of thinking, how US economy is going to impact global or Indian economy. I think the question was asked by Prerak.
Yes.
That was the best question. But then again, I personally believe we are at a stage where economies are working in silos to larger extent, and the geopolitical impact is reducing day by day. This is what I have seen in last 2-3 years. So I am not the correct person, but then that question was something which was very interesting for me.
Okay, so Prerak, you win 10-minute call with Ram. So we are not responsible for you getting it, but this is on record. So, and Ram is a good person, so he will give his time to you. So you can reach out to him on LinkedIn. So what is the best platform for you to reach out to Ram?
So I'm available on LinkedIn. We can connect on LinkedIn.
Okay, awesome. Nilay, how can people reach out to you, and which is the question you like?
Sure. I mean, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. It's Nilay Doshi, right? And I think in terms of question, I mean, obviously there weren't many that was asked. One already been taken by Ram sir, which I liked. So second would be this 3D printing one, right? So that's an interesting.
So I believe Yash had asked. So Yash, you have to reach out
Yash
to
Patel.
Yes, you have to reach out to, or you have to reach out to Jigar from where you got a link to register.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And Pawan, anyway, are very popular on LinkedIn. So is LinkedIn the right platform?
Yeah. LinkedIn is the best platform.
Yeah. And which question you like? You can select the
I like that hyperinflation wala question.
Okay, so Prerak wins 2 rewards.
Yeah.
And Prerak has something. So probably Prerak, you will reach out to Jigar. He can potentially help you in propagating the message that you are trying to promote. So Jigar, thank you so much, everyone. Jigar, you want to add a closing summary or closing remark? You will give a memento to all of us, digital memento, something.
So next time, definitely, thank you so much to the panelists and all the listeners for attending this. This was event was with ECHI and iHub with Startup Innovation Policies Incubator. So definitely we are planning this kind of webinars every week. So next week we'll be also coming with some interesting sessions. There will be webinars on different topics. So stay tuned with us. And thank you so much, everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make us screenshot and promote it everywhere, so we also get promoted.